I tried dropshipping from scratch within the past week, and the results are actually crazy. Here's the store. Most importantly, here's the product right here. So I talked about this in my last video where I made over $1.4 million with this product, but I wanted to see if I could do it again. You know, it's a simple product. It's just shower curtains with a little twist. It has a design on it. But the main difference here is the strategy that I'm using. So I want to walk you through the step-by-step. Every single day I'll break down which strategy I use on the Facebook ads, and I'll show you exactly what the profit breakdown was. So let's get right into day one. This right here was the ad setup that I used. So I wanted to start off testing my ads, right? So I basically had a campaign with a $50 budget. This is using ABO, that's Advantage Budget Optimization, where you put the budget on the campaign level. And I'm letting Facebook decide out of the 4 audiences on my ad sets and out of all the ads, which one is the best one. So I set up each ad set with a different audience, and each audience is being targeted with 5 of the same ads, right? So you can see the setup right here. And my goal here was really just to get some data. I wanted to see what's the best audience and ad combination that was going to get me the cheapest clicks, highest click-through rate, and also which platform, like whether Facebook or Instagram, that was working. So let's go into the ad sets. You can see right here. So this is the first day. Nothing really crazy, right? So I'll show you what it looks like on the store end too. But nothing crazy. We're just getting some initial data. Click-through rate was very high, right? I like to be above 2%, so this is phenomenal. And then when I come into the store here, what you're gonna see is, if we go to the same day, we had 5 add to cart, so that was a good sign. No sales. We had 123 visitors, but I wasn't really expecting too much. The biggest thing on day one is that I installed this app called Lucky Orange. You definitely want to check this app out because it'll allow you to spy on your customers and see exactly what their actions are. So I was able to install that, and as I'm getting traffic from Facebook, I'm just looking at what the customers' behaviors are and what products they're interested in. Here's an example of one customer, and then they went on to add to cart, right? So I got to see which products were their favorite, and I also got to see which variants they were selecting. So we spent day one with $0 in sales. We spent $50 on ads, no cost of goods, and we're at negative $50 so far. Day two, something interesting happened on day two. I think we just got lucky, but if you look right here, the next day, we had one person buy for $99, right? And I think it goes back to my ad campaigns, and my ad is very targeted to a small group of people, so they're very passionate about what I'm selling. But I'll talk about that in my next video. If you leave a comment down below saying dropshipping 2024, I'll go into the actual ad creative. But I think we just got lucky. They bought 2 items, you know, 2 people added to cart, 1 person checked out, and 1 purchased. But the main thing I wanted to take interest in and show y'all for day 2 was that when we come into the ads here, that same ad that was doing a 4.8 click-through rate was still doing well. So I wanted to see which platform is it performing, and I also got my answer to which audience was working too. So I come down here, I break down by which platform is doing the best, and we can see that off the bat Instagram is performing, right? Instagram is performing the best because I'm getting the most clicks there, and it's actually cheaper cost per click. So I started a new campaign, and that setup, this is on the night of day 2. I started a new campaign, and the setup was like this. So you could take a screenshot, pause the video here. It was an ABO campaign, $50, but now I'm targeting that audience 1, right? I'm targeting the top audience, and I'm targeting on Instagram only. I'm doing 3 different ad sets, and I also put I separated the ads out. So I had 3 ads that was performing the best. So I put 1 ad on the first ad set, 1 ad on the second, 1 ad on the third, right? So the only differences here is the ads, and now I'm really trying to see, we know which audience is working, we know what platform is working. Now we need to find out which ad is the best. So that's how I set this up. So we ended day 2 with $99 in sales. We had $50 in ad costs, and the actual cost of the product was $47.16. We only had a profit of about $5.33, which is not bad, but it's not great either. I'm just trying to let my ads optimize. Day 3. So on day 3, what we really saw was increase in add to carts, really. So you can see right here, add to carts increased by 12%. That was cool. I mean, we had some visitors. As you can see, we get a little surge at the end of the day there. So the ads were still optimizing, but I have no concern with making a profit at this point. I'm targeting for purchases right now, so I'm really just trying to see which ad set is giving us the most profit. And I'm also looking back at Lucky Orange, looking at the film to see what the customers are thinking. Like, do I have to adjust the price? What buttons are they clicking on? Why are they leaving the site? So that's really what I spent day 3 doing. I'm being patient and I'm just letting the ads run. The biggest thing I noticed from Lucky Orange, and this is why I tell y'all to download it, the customers, they saw that the button was black for the add to cart, and whenever they clicked on the product and they would just scroll past the add to cart button, and it was annoying me. I'm like, why are y'all just looking at it? You're showing interest, but you're not adding to cart. So I changed the button from black. It was black before. I changed it to green. So it's a little bit more bold, right? And so I think that really helped increase the add to cart rate, but we can't really tell yet. It's too early. So we ended the day with $0 in sales. We spent $50 on ads, and we're down -50 on day 3 as well. Day 4. So it was actually a good day. Like, if we look right here, we did $111 in sales. We had 3 people buy, right? But most importantly, the add to cart ratio increased. And that's what I was really looking for. I was trying to see whether the ads was being optimized, whether that change on the button color I did with the site is actually resulting in an increase in people adding to cart. And it did. We had most add to carts. We got a 3.41 conversion rate, so we're good, right? So I pretty much got my answer. I know exactly which platform is working. I know which audience is working. And at this point, I got enough data to know whether which ad was performing the best. And so I took that and I decided to switch my strategy, because although we made sales on this day, it wasn't as profitable. And the strategy that I had to switch to was a little bit more of a safer strategy, right? There's 2 types of strategies, right? There's one where you go for purchases and you try to just optimize for purchases right away. It's a little bit more risky. If you succeed, you'll scale faster. But if you don't succeed, you'll lose money and you'll get inconsistent results like this, where one day you're getting sales, the next day you're not. So I went to my backup plan, and this is the strategy that I wanted to share with you guys. It's a strategy where you run a ABO campaign towards a cold audience, right? Maybe $40 a day, and your goal is to just go for add to carts instead of purchases. So we're gonna get them to just show interest and add to cart, and then we're also gonna retarget that same group of people who added to cart but haven't purchased with another ad campaign. So if you want to see how that setup is, I'll show you right here. This was for day 5 and 6, you know, going into those days. And this is, I ran this on the night of day 4, so getting ready for the next day. And as you can see, it's an ABO. We had audience 1, we're targeting for add to carts, and I did the same setup: add 1, add 2, and add 3. I separated them, and I want to see which one is gonna get me the most add to carts for the cheapest amount. So I ran that, and so I launched those ads, and then we pretty much ended day 4 with $111.80 in sales. We ran $51 in ads, and the cost of goods was $46.87. So we made profit about $10.90. Nothing crazy. I wasn't really looking for sales at this point, but we got what we needed. And going forward, I'm really trying to get my money back. So day 5. Now I'm really trying to get my profit back, right? So because now I'm like down a little bit. So we run the add to cart ads, and you can see right here, look, a boost in the add to cart ratio from the add to cart. I'll show you the ads later, but right here you can see 87% increase in the add to carts because we started optimizing for that. We got 1 purchase, we got lucky. You know, we made $68 in sales. We had a lot more sessions because we're spending the same amount. But when you target for add to carts, another benefit of this strategy is that you get a lot of people to visit for cheaper. So if we look right here, I'm gonna go into the campaign level. So right here, you can see when we run this ABO campaign for the audiences, you can see, look at the add to cart ratio, and the ABO did its job. It got add to carts for about $1.11, right? And we can see right here the click-through rate jumped through the roof. We're at about a 12% click-through rate, so we're able to get a lot of people over to the site for cheaper, and that's why I like this strategy initially. I also added reviews to the site at this point because I saw that I didn't have reviews. I don't know why I ran ads with no reviews, but I added that on the night of. But pretty much we ended day 5. We had like $68 in sales. We had about $40.43 in ad costs, and we had $21 in cost of goods. So our profit is floating at about $4 to $5, $4.78. And on the night of day 5, I also decided, okay, now these last 2 days I gotta get my bread back. So I run this retargeting campaign. So I'll pause it right here so you can see what that setup looks like. The retargeting campaign now is very simple. It's a small budget, $6, right? And I'm targeting people in the past 30 days who engage with my brand but haven't made a purchase yet. And I put all of my top 3 ads in there. It's supposed to say ad 1, 2, and 3 right here, right? So this is a very simple campaign, low budget, and you know what you're gonna see is actually crazy. So let's get into day 6. On day 6, check this out. We saw a boost in sales, right? We had $149 in sales, a record high, and you can see right here the add to cart is still high, right? The conversion rate increased 300%. And I can say that this is all thanks to that retargeting campaign. So running this strategy, you're not gonna make sales off of the first touch of the customer. You're gonna make sales after you retarget them. So your goal is to show interest for cheap at first, and then later on retarget them with this strategy right here, low budget, and you're gonna make very, very profitable sales. Another thing that I wanted to show y'all is all those things, those optimizations I was doing on the store. We can see that our bounce rate decreased. This basically means people coming to the site are not leaving right away. So that's something that I was really looking closely at to see whether the things and the changes I was making to the website was resulting in customers lasting longer on the site. So anything below 50% is good. The lower the better. The bounce rate was decreasing. So now I'm getting comfortable thinking that I have a very optimized website. Conversion rates increase, bounce rate is down, we're getting record high sales, so I'm feeling really, really good. So I just left the campaigns as is. I didn't do any changes to the ads at this point. I'm like, let me just let the retargeting campaign make all my money back. But we ended day 5 with about $149 in sales. We had $47.22 in ad costs. We had $52.90 in cost of goods, and our total profit was $46.60. That's the most profit I've made so far, but we're still down in the past 7 days. I'll give a final breakdown of the profit and a special treat if you stay to the end. If you're getting value so far, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this regarding e-commerce. Day 7. So this day we started getting like really good flow through of traffic to our store. You can see we had still an add to cart ratio of about 10%, and we had about a 9% increase in the conversions. So we had 4 purchases for $163. I'm feeling real good, right? Bounce rate still low. And I want to show you something with the ads. When we check out the ads on this day, what you're gonna notice is that when you come right here, you're gonna see the cost per add to cart is very low on the retargeting. The most important thing, this is where you're making all your profit, right? This is the thing that most people aren't talking about, is you gotta retarget those people and get your profit back. So you can see a 13.77 ROAS. This means for every dollar I'm giving to Facebook in my retargeting ads, I'm getting $13 back. So that's where we're actually making our profit, and that's where most of our sales are coming from. So that's why I say, like, don't go for the quick profits. Don't go straight for purchases if your ads don't have any data. Don't do that. It's just gonna result in inconsistent sales. And I'll show you right here. In those past 7 days, right, you can see the clear difference after doing that second ad strategy. At first, we're getting no sales here, we're getting sales there. No sales, sales. But then once I made that switch, now there hasn't been a day where I haven't been getting sales, because we're actually nurturing the audience and we're getting sales for cheaper. So this is where I'm actually making most of the profit. At the end of day 7, we ended with about $163.12 in sales. We had $53.41 in ads, and $62.21 cost of goods, leaving us with a profit of $44.24. And then if you want to scale something like this, you can increase the ads targeting people just for add to cart, that initial ABO campaign, and then keep the retargeting ads low, at a low budget. You want to make those very profitable. You don't need to do much there. So to scale this, you would have to, just increase your budgets on everything else, and then just let the retargeting ads do their thing. You could cut off the other ads, every other ad except for the retargeting one, until you make all your profits back, and then scale again. Right, so that's how I like to go about this process. Definitely use Lucky Orange. It's gonna give you a lot of insight on like changing the pricing, what discounts you should use. And just keep in mind, none of this matters if your ad sucks. If you have a very bad ad, you are not gonna be able to get results like this, even with the second strategy. Right, so here was the final breakdown. Right, I have a sheet where I just calculate everything. I'll leave it down below for everybody that stayed to this point of the video. Thank you, and make sure you subscribe if you got some value out of this so far. And right here you can see we made a total profit in those past 7 to 8 days of about $26.26. But the main thing here is that most of that profit came within the last 3 days, and that's because we switched up our strategy. And going forward, if I keep running this for a month, we're gonna make a lot more profit, and we're gonna be a lot more consistent with our sales and getting traffic to our store. There's so much other things that I want to do, but right now I'm gonna go and try to run this same strategy on TikTok ads. And if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video.